Depending on how you view debt, you may treat it like that toxic relationship you know you should get out of, but you just don't see how. Well, let's talk about that. Let's be real. Debt is a thief. I don't like debt. I hate it. I hate debt. If debt were a person and I could rip their lips off, rip, pop, whatever sound effects I can make, I would absolutely have issues with debt. But I would have to be honest with myself. How did I allow myself to get into debt? Now, there's so many ways that we can talk about this. There's so many avenues this can go down. But essentially, debt sucks. And I think it sucks for these 3 reasons. There's more, but I'll just give you 3. Why? Because we're in a video. And when you have points, it helps people follow along. Debt sucks because it steals from your future. I remember thinking about debt when I started paying back my undergrad loans. And I would, at least think that I was doing better until that one day where I was like, you know what? Let me check my balance because I've been trying to pay a little bit extra and I should see a little bit more progress than I do. Wrong. So I'm thinking of the story when I had a call on the phone with Nelnet. And this is when I'm looking at my associate's and my bachelor's degree debt. Together, it was about $25,000. Went to BMCC, which was like 13th grade. And then I went to Lehman College. Shout out to Lehman College. Altogether, it was about $25,000. And I remember there was a point where I tried to get aggressive in making more than my minimum payment. And I noticed that instead of my principal going down, I was actually in more debt even when I'm trying to pay aggressively. So I got on the phone and the person was letting me know that my minimum payment was lower than the interest I was accruing each month. And even in trying to get aggressive, it was still lower than the interest I was accruing each month. So I would have essentially had to triple or quadruple my minimum payment just to get ahead of the interest and touch the principal. And I was essentially felt like that was highway robbery. And this is how a lot of people feel or have felt about this whole student loan thing. And that's why it needs to get fixed, because you'll have people that have a minimum payment that's so low that it won't even cover your interest, and you'll continue to be on the hook for more and more at the end of each month because you're not making a dent in anything. So I was like, I have to get out of debt. I started to hate it because even when I tried to do more, it wasn't enough. And that is when I was like, nah, if I don't have enough money, if I don't have a good job, if I'm not bringing in a big enough shovel to, get this dirt off me, then it's gonna bury me. And that's why people think that debt isn't for everything. And they feel overwhelmed when it comes to paying it back, because when you've even tried, you saw that your efforts were getting you nowhere. So you'll just avoid it. You'll say, well, it's gonna, stick with me until I die. So you'll get that after I'm dead. One way we can start to address the debt problem is with mindset. Now, do I have debt? I absolutely do. Do I hate it? I absolutely do. Do I still feel that debt sucks, even though I've got some in the pocket? Yes, debt still sucks. But I'm not necessarily worried about it because I've got a plan to get out of debt. And for one, I believe that it's possible to get out of debt. A lot of times I have conversations and I hear that debt isn't for everything, or it's going with me to the grave, or they'll get it when I die. They may not. It may actually move to a family member. It may move to somebody else. It may become a burden for someone else because we didn't handle our business how we needed to. Now, there are reasons why people get into debt, some being you didn't have the money, but you felt you needed the thing at the moment. There are valid reasons for some of those. You wanted an opportunity that taking a loan would provide you, and you felt that opportunity would get you a good paying job or put you in front of people that would get you some good money so that you can pay that back. School, education, my coughing is set up. You may have felt like this opportunity is worth going into debt for, and because you went through the opportunity, you would be able to pay that back because you would have learned a skill set. You would have gotten placed in front of some very important people. You would have been able to do something that would have gotten you some income, enough capital to be able to pay back that loan and then some. Let's say that didn't happen immediately. Maybe it did, but you still got this hole that you got to dig yourself out of. If you don't first believe that it's possible, that will absolutely slow you down from running this race to get ahead of debt as opposed to stay behind it and smell its farts. You may think, I'll always be in debt, so what? Debt is a forever thing. Debt is that relationship that I just have to have. No, who told you that debt has to be something you are in forever? Who told you that you need to be in debt? Who said that you can't put yourself on a plan like a credit card would to pay this debt back? No, skip that. Let's tackle these negative mindsets first and foremost. You can get out of debt. But just rewind this video, play it back. You can get out of debt. You should get out of debt.